Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode 32, and while it may not be May the 4th be with you, it is still Revenge of the 5th. My name is Nanashi, and I apologize in advance for whatever this show is going to be. Joining me tonight is a menagerie of personalities. He quit Yu-Gi-Oh! But is still opinionated about it. It's Blitz.
Sup, bitches? I can fix your ban list in 5 seconds. Also, if you play Mind Master, you get no pussy.
We have the Yugi memer himself, Connor Lockhart.
Whoever came up with the Monadium Prime Hard copy paster, please, politely, go fuck yourself.
He brings the Unga Bunga to gaming. It's Chibi Kenny.
If your package is messed up from FedEx, it wasn't me, I swear.
I blame eBay.
We have our fellow furry Yugi tuber, Mr. Rory Calcos.
I have now decided to live in trash.
Your Oscar?
I'm getting to know him.
Oh, okay.
He is the thing that goes bump in the night. It's Raven.
Hello, Ori's living in trash and I'm the one who put him there. I do
Thank
not
you.
apologize. I hired Don Zalug, but then some hippos showed up and beat him up. He won't stop crying to me about it.
We have our token RDA player, Reborn.
Pulse of the King, coming soon to a dragon near you.
He's every card game player's worst nightmare by name, Tim Brick.
Bricks, pinbricks, all in the trash with Ori.
No.
We got the trash man.
He makes his triumphant return. Everyone welcome back, Vukara.
Hello, fellow dwellers of the underworld. Please duel hard and make sure to give good worship to our golden Lord Eldritch.
And he's here in all his protogenic glory. It's Zivuth.
Only here by text.
Zivus? Oh, okay. Zivus, do you know any Dobby Mommy Pro-Jeds out there? Let me know. I'll take them off your hands. I'm prepared for the domination here.
Understandable.
All right, so how's everyone doing today?
Alive. I'm currently
Pretty
drawing
good.
right
Pretty
now.
good.
Decent.
Been getting back into exercise once more because, being sick sucked.
Oh yeah, I
I feel
had to get tomato sauce from my mom on Friday. I ended up deathly ill for the remainder of the week.
Yeah. I was,
Damn
Just recently watched the Super Mario Brothers movie. That
It's
was
good.
fun.
It's good. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go watch that on Monday.
Yeah.
Bank
I
holiday
mean,
Monday.
why give
It's
theaters
not
money when you
great,
can
but
pirate
it is very
now?
visually pleasing.
yeah. As for me, I've been in kind of a bit of an uphill fighting certain mental health problems for quite a bit of this week, and now I'm finally feeling my positive self again.
That's good.
Good for you, man. Glad to see you're doing better.
It's good to hear you're feeling better, brother. We're glad for that, man. We hope you get the Superman strength again and dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
Nah, I got more like Spawn strength. It's much better.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
That's
I
good
mean, he
indeed.
did kill God and Satan and rewrote the universe, so it's understandable.
And that just reminds me of the hilarious fact that Hal Jordan had the cojones to arrest God.
The frick.
You're under arrest. For what? For creating me. I didn't ask for this life.
I'm actually going to make that into a comic one day. You're under arrest. For what? For me breathing.
But I thought that was what you wanted. No.
Oh, there's so much shit.
Oh,
They leaked on Magic today. Once we get the Magic, I'll just go over it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start off with some random articles and news. First off, Discord is making some major changes to their naming system. Usernames will no longer have the hashtag and 4-digit identifier and will instead be straight up just regular usernames.
I don't
Oh,
like that.
hell
very
no.
much.
I can't be Blitzo anymore?
Well, no, you still can. Your username will just be letters and numbers. You'll still get to make your own unique profile name and such, and it can be whatever you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I'm about to
because
say they're
that's
taking
not
my raspberry
difficult, right,
pizza
boy?
with them in
That seems
hands.
that seems a bit communistic.
That's not the word I'd choose. They're just trying to make the usernames more like Twitter and YouTube.
Don't
I
copy
guess.
Twitter at all. Please, for the love of Christ.
You might get an infection.
Indeed.
Okay, so the second bit of news. That new Honkai Star Rail video game has officially been released, and I've heard some of our server members have tried it.
So I've
How is
heard. So I've heard about Honkai Mail.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's basically just the Waifu Express.
That makes sense. I think
So
basically
Dragon
Genshin
Maid's on a
2.0.
train?
Honestly, the only reason I was even interested was because the main characters wore black and gold, which is my favorite color pair.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if you had the black and gold Megazord repaints they've been doing lately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next, they released a trailer for the all-new Twisted Metal TV series.
Oh shit!
Oh
I did.
snap!
Oh yeah.
You
Are
you
you
talking about
talking
my
about the?
brother
Are
I
you
haven't
talking
played it,
about?
but I
Metal,
know
that
of it.
rings a bell.
Are you talking about the
It's the
live
one with the
action
funny
TV
clown
show
in
that
it
they're going to
with
be
the
making?
murder.
That's the one, yeah. For those that don't know, Twisted Metal is an old video game about driving around in modified cars covered in machine guns and rocket launchers, and the goal is to either win the race or just survive.
All for a chance to gain a wish from a man named Calypso.
who will screw over that wish in humorous way.
Well, they didn't show much, but the one character everyone remembers from that game was Sweet Tooth, the clown with the flaming hair that runs an ice cream truck full of blades and weapons, and they genuinely nailed him.
You know what's canonically hilarious? Despite Sweet Tooth being the face of the series, like Scorpion, he's only won the tournament once.
He's
That's
also
very
apparently
depressing.
survived the
As
electric
is
chair.
tradition.
Because technically, his split personality won it once, and the first winner was canonically Outlaw.
Mind if I add something to the random segment?
Sure.
Oh, also me.
One particular game that came out this month that a lot of me and a lot of my friends are very excited for is that LEGO released a new racing game that's an homage to the original racing game from the 90s called LEGO 2K Drive.
Oh, I heard that.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Interesting.
Well, I hope you enjoy that when it finally drops.
Oh, it already did. It's available
Oh,
on
okay.
Steam.
I misunderstood.
Neat.
Yeah, really cool. You can basically you can build your vehicles however you want, all sorts of racing courses, and able to unlock new vehicles, kind of similar as Need for Speed, but without the anger.
Oh yes, we all love
But-
Need for Speed.
But alas, there's no funky, fresh hip hop beat.
I feel like this whole year there was only really, well, I would say 3 games that I've been really hyped for. 2 of them being remakes. The Dead Space 1 remake and the Left 4 Dead 4 remake. And you had that Bayonetta prequel game, which looked cool because I just
Resident Evil
completed.
4?
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 got a remake.
Yep.
Yeah, you said Left 4 Dead. So I was like,
Wait, did I?
yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
Left
Yeah,
4
yeah,
Dead.
you did.
I
Oh
was
shit.
like, when was this remake? I would have played the shit out of it.
Oh shit. Sorry.
I think
I
his
was-
brain
I
is
was-
Left 4 Dead, but that's just
Hero
me.
news. I'm on
No, it was on my mind. It must have been on my mind because I deadass did play Left 4 Dead 2 earlier, and it's probably
Okay.
still linked in there.
Yeah, that would
But
explain it.
but I did mean to say Resident Evil 4, which I am hyped for
Mhm.
because I've heard good things about that. Apparently, it's somehow better than the OG.
Why
Which
is
is a rare
Lego 2K
occasion.
Drive $70? Holy shit! What?
And then, funnily
What?
enough, when I finished all 3 of the Bayonetta games, and then as I watched the Nintendo Direct, they announced a Bayonetta prequel game where you play as Lil Cereza and go
Oh,
on
yeah, that
adventures
game?
as
Yeah.
her.
That
And
could
I
be
was
fun.
like,
Yeah.
how did they know? How did they know that I just got finished with all 3 of the Bayonetta games and then just released this?
The
God
prequel
damn
to
it.
the Bayonetta games.
Well,
Dude,
clearly
I
there's
wa-
only 2 explanations.
They're
One,
reading
they're
your
wizards. Yeah, either one, they're wizards or aliens, both
They're
of which involve mind reading.
They're fucking
Indeed.
wizards. There's only
They
an
gotta be wizards.
explanation. I
They're
got finished with
reptilian.
I got finished with Bayonetta 3, and then like a week later, as I watched the direct, they're like, "Oh, here's another Bayonetta game for you, Raven. Play that."
It's like,
Yeah.
you motherfuckers, you found out. Oh,
you you motherfuckers! You saw me get pure platinum in all 3 games, and now you want me to try to do it in this one.
Ah,
You know what game I was hyped for this year?
What?
go on.
Papa's
What?
Freezeria Deluxe.
oh hell yeah! Has
Oh,
anyone?
Dude,
yes,
dude, the
yes. A
childhood.
man of
I, I
culture.
I'm
They
just
need
waiting
to
for
they
them.
need to make the rest of the games available on Steam. They
Oh god,
need to.
I remember. I remember in the computer labs at school, me and my friends would just dick around in Papa's Burgeria, not even trying to progress the game, just making the most horrid burgers that would make Gordon Ramsay scream in pain and agony. I'm just waiting for that to get a deluxe edition so I can
Oh, and don't
relive
forget
those
yelling
memories.
lamb sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that. You fucking donkey! Where's the lamb sauce?
Oh, have you
This-
guys seen how bad Star Wars is with the glitches? Just so fuck. Ooh,
A Star Wars game
Yeah.
with
I
glitches.
mean,
Color
it
me
is
surprised.
EA.
dude, holy shit! So he's fighting the monster. The monster goes into the wall, and it's like pulling at him through the wall, like, and then. And then you could, and then if you jump up when you're in the elevator, you jump up, and then you die. And then the funniest shit ever is, in some instances, guards looking another way, but can still shoot you off the fucking ledge and you fall to your death. And I'm just sitting here
What
like,
the fuck?
what the fuck?
Wait, is
Yeah.
this the EA game?
Yes.
Again, you removed any and all expectation. It's EA. I'm not even remotely surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean,
Yeah.
what's funny? I know it's a different studio that was behind it, but it's still technically an EA game.
BRB gonna
But
eat.
the Dead Space remake was pretty solid. I'm waiting for them to remake the second one and hopefully do justice for the third game because, god damn, they fucked that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
For Dead
Yeah.
Space,
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I
for
was
Dead Space.
yeah, I actually have something to say about that. They should at the time they definitely have a huge opportunity to remake the third one just because they did everything for the remake of Dead Space right. They even made it and they made it first off $59.99 instead of the $69.99 price everyone's putting their new AAA remakes at.
Yeah,
And it's so
the Dead Space remake, it took all of the good things about the 2008 original and was like, yeah, let's bump it up a bit more. And if people
yeah,
like this, then we'll probably get a Dead Space 2 remake and make it even better than the original.
totally. And
Guys,
they definitely should make a third one. Though I will say, I think wasn't there a DLC that it was actually pretty good for the third game, but it was just the Dead Space 3 that was bad.
it was just
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Mhm.
what Dead Space 3, they had for whatever reason a loved, like, don't get me wrong, the Brethren Moons were a cool design, just
Yeah, the cool
Kirk just
concept, terrible execution.
yeah, it's like,
Also,
oh, you have all
microtransactions.
yeah,
Yeah,
that too. It was riddled with that bullshit. And I believe for whatever reason they added a little crafting system in Dead Space 3
and
when the other two
multiplayer
didn't have.
areas.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Also,
I feel like the only thing that I really did enjoy about Dead Space 3 was the lore between the Brethren Moons. Like this is the final stage of convergence. All of the necromorphs and all of these
Mhm.
corpses just pile up together and become this sentient moon-sized entity that could wipe out the entire universe. And a man with like mining tools has to try and stop it. That's what
Reminds
makes
me of Nibiru.
Yeah.
that's what makes this series even more funnier and more cool when you think about it.
Oh,
Isaac Clarke isn't some like subhuman like the Doomslayer. He doesn't have special superpowers like other protagonists in games like his. Dude is just an average Joe who went to college to get a degree in engineering
oh.
and he goes
yeah,
to
the
go
Ziv having
he,
issues.
Alright.
Yeah.
I
Oh, there's
you
even.
know the voice and
yeah
I'm
Yeah.
also back for
I'm
the
not gonna lie, I had a couple
Hold on,
sound
hold on, hold on,
effects
hold on,
there.
hold on. You're saying something.
But yeah, as I was saying, dude literally got a degree in engineering. He wasn't prepared for this eldritch bullshit that was about to unfold, and yet he still fought them off with mining equipment of all things and got the job done, only for a bunch of cultists to fuck up his work. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to start over on this one, Chief.
And he managed to do it while having like a
Yeah, he did.
literal like
Loose
episode
finances.
mental.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
consistent
he
mental episodes.
Yeah, he did it again. He told them, I'm gonna do it again, but this time I'm gonna give you all a handicap. I'm
Hey,
gonna have eldritch nightmare dementia where I constantly see my dead wife. I mean, my dead girlfriend, whatever.
Oh dear.
They could have ended up like that if, well, yeah, I'm not gonna. It should
Yeah.
be obvious.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
didn't someone else have something to say, or
I believe so.
I thought
Hmm.
someone did because I want to get. I know I get
Well, yeah,
talked over a bunch, and
I actually had something to bring up for the random thing.
yeah,
Was
go
that
on.
Go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
you did. Well, I'm done with my rant. You go ahead.
they're they're bringing back the 20th anniversary thing of Common Writer Fives, and I'm like, okay,
Nice.
what?
Yeah, they're bringing back the special gear. I think they're making a movie for it or something, possibly.
Yeah, they're
Nice.
because they're gonna do a CSM Fives blaster, a CSM Orga belt, a CSM Saiga belt.
Yeah, the 5 pieces of equipment that we haven't received anything for. Fives is an interesting Common Writer series from 23 years ago, and they're just now getting them a complete series modification, which is like a deluxe kit of every accessory that it's supposed to come with.
Wow.
God damn.
The new version of Fives is using a smartphone to transform now instead of a flip phone.
That's a little sad.
Indeed.
But modern times, modern solutions.
I'm not even arguing
Mhm.
that. My problem is that the reason it was iconic is because he used a flip phone to do it. It made it look nice, you know?
I mean, yeah.
I
Out
mean,
of
one of the
I,
others used a spin phone.
Mhm.
Oh, God damn! How
wh-
old do you have to be to remember
which comment?
spin
There
phone?
was this really there was this really cool scene from a common writer series that a friend showed me. I can't remember which one it was, but I believe one of the antagonists was a video game director, and he could like stop time with his common writer
Oh, it's from
ability.
an
Chrono,
X8. It's from
Yeah,
X8.
that's a character from Xaid.
Savarudo.
Hey, we heard you,
Yes,
man.
I was about to make that. That's literally what he does.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
And I
His
was like,
name is
because
Chrono.
yeah, Cronus.
yeah, because me and my friend were talking about the absurd abilities because he was going on this huge tangent like, oh, you wouldn't believe the absurd weapons and the absurd abilities copywriter have. And it's like, okay, enlighten me. How can this get even more wackier? And he's like, well, one of them is just Dio who can stop time. I'm like, no, there ain't no
that
way,
is
Chief. Show me the evidence or it didn't happen. And he
that
did.
is true.
And apparently we do have evidence, so.
Yup.
Mm.
He just
Um,
happens to be portrayed by one of my favorite musicians ever as well. The main singer from the Japanese band Access, who sang some of my favorite songs, including songs from Code Geass and other anime from my childhood. But
oh,
if I get into that, I'm not
And
gonna
I'm
stop talking about
and
it.
um,
and
here's
he and my oh, you finish?
oh, sorry. Here's something funny. Dan's actor in Xaid, he was the only licensed doctor there. He actually interviewed people in English, made $3 million during the whole COVID thing selling Gen toilet paper.
Oh
I
dear.
okay.
But
Um,
yeah, after
and he can legally go into space.
Yeah, he's also a member of Mensa.
what?
Um,
The silence
But
was deafening.
Yes,
The
it
silence
was.
was there.
So
yeah,
before we
but after my, I was,
go ahead.
Did you want me to? I was gonna say, after me and my friend made the obvious Joe jokes in regards to that clip he showed me, I was like, you know what was such a missed opportunity, even if it would be cheesy, if they actually did get the Japanese dude who voiced Dio in the Japanese sub of JoJo to play as that character.
Hmm.
Just hearing him say that different time stop ability, because that's literally the actor's career at this point. It's
So
either
Yeah.
stopping time, it's either stopping
Yeah.
time, something about throwing knives as seen as Arcana and Yu-Gi-Oh, or something to do with tarot cards. That's all people know him for at
Yep.
this point.
He was
More or less,
actually
yeah.
in Cardfight Vanguard
Or
as
Yeah.
Basil Hawkins from One
Yeah,
Piece
he was
does
also
this
in
too with the tarot cards.
Dragon Ball
he
Super.
was also that
Well,
clown dude.
this-
He was also the he was also the clown dude in ReZero, if I recall.
I think so, yeah.
and
Okay,
I-
so
and I
we
think
are
he was- and I believe he was also
I think we're getting a little
in this
derailed here, bud.
yeah.
this crazy Dragon Ball spin-off anime as well.
He's pretty
Oh,
much
just in
everywhere
general.
in modern day media, yeah. The last thing I wanted to bring up while we had the opportunity was on the subject of old time TV shows. Who remembers Tiny Toons?
I do.
I do.
Vaguely.
Hell yeah.
Vaguely.
Oh,
Nothing
Tiny
shit
Toons
about
has a
Sounds
lot of
familiar.
Tiny Toons had a lot of dark episodes. I remember an
The
episode where they get drunk and die. That was one of the
okay,
most
I
memorable
was about to
episodes.
I was actually trying to get to
I was
something.
just about to ask. Wasn't that the episode that had that weird fucked up anti-alcohol PSA? Where
Yeah.
like 3 of the main cast just die in an accident?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The reason I was bringing it up is because they have announced a reboot for the Tiny Toons.
Oh boy.
They've already released a
Okay.
trailer. It looks good, but the voice of Buster sounds so off.
They're gonna make it.
Okay,
I have no problem with being woke, but if they make it way too woke, like they did Animaniacs, I'm going to lose my shit.
Don't
And
worry, if all else fails, we'll do the same thing that happened to Velma.
Velma, yeah.
No,
Let's not
Velma
talk
wasn't
about
even-
Velma.
We don't talk about
It
Velma.
wasn't
problem
even
wasn't
woke.
that it was woke.
Speaking of
It was
old
that it
wasn't
was
voices,
badly written.
who still remembers the old voice of Sorrow?
Best way to
From-
sum up Velma is
Pretty
Oh,
much,
wasn't
yeah.
you're the
even
one
woke.
who's using the
Best way
soundboard.
to sum up Velma is whoever fucking created it deserves to be slowly ripped to shred by piranhas, brought back to life, and then slowly ripped to shred by baby sharks, and then finally one more death.
This med.
Slowly death by fucking 1,000 cuts. God fucking damn it. If Scooby is not a fucking dog, it's not a fucking series. And if you want to disagree, go play in fire and go play in traffic.
Rude. Okay, so getting
know-
back
I
on
know
top.
somewhere-
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, let's
No,
get back on-
yeah, let's get back on
Nanashi
topic.
getting cut off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. With a group of 11 people, it's just bound to happen. But the reason I'm
Yeah,
saying that we
sorry
need to
about
move
that.
on is because Blitz has a limited amount of time, and he wanted to talk Magic the Gathering while he had the opportunity.
Alright, so I'm going to hit this off real fast. We are getting a Doctor Who set. I just need to find out the dates.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
We
I
are
heard
getting
about
a
that.
Doctor Who set.
Can you please stop with the soundboard?
sorry.
Getting a Doctor Who set. Important dates. July is the first look. The debate God fucking damn it. October 3rd, and then launch October 13th. This is going to be expensive. There's rumors of it being the same price of Lord of the Rings for a pre-release and $100 for EDH deck. There's going to be Wilds of Eldraine set coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's coming out down the line. And then there's gonna be more. There's gonna be a tournament on Arena/Steam on May 23rd. There's also Commander Masters, which is something I'm hyped about. Because Commander Masters is finally going to have a colorless, full colorless deck, and it's dropping August the 4th. And I am mainly happy for, I can't pronounce the first name, but ZU ZHULD. Okay, Void Golger, and it's gonna be the first colorless deck, and it's gonna be an ancient monster in the past. We're getting a sliver deck in this shit. We're getting demigod versions of cards now. We're getting more. We're getting the 8 elf deck, something that I played in 1999 all the way up. I played a shitty elf deck, and that elf deck is just going to make me fucking boom, as they say. And the elf deck, in the elf, well, we're not getting a elf deck, my bad, but we're getting elf cards in the demigod deck. So you got a demigod plus you got fucking elves fucking shit up. And then they did some leaks for Lord of the Rings, which were already leaked on TCG Player, by the way, and they got in trouble for that, as far as I know. But there's more leaks for Lord of the Rings, and then there's leaks for there's a new set coming out in a week or two, that 15 planeswalkers lose their planeswalker status, and as in fashion with All Will Be One, short printing it.
Why am I not surprised?
I was told Magic the Gathering is going to short print more and more and more and more throughout the year, and it's going to go
Cringe.
all shit crazy at the card shop I go to. The
Yeah.
card shops, you might have fights. Like the card shops, you might have fights like Walmart, like over Pokemon, because of the Lord of the Rings set and the Doctor Who set. People will throw hands. I want the Doctor Who set. The Lord of the Rings set, someone else can have.
Watch
then
the
I also-
Doctor Who and Lord of the Ring themes end up like the Stranger Things themes and have no gameplay style or play whatsoever.
Oh, they probably won't, but I just want some Doctor Who. I just want one of each precon of the Doctor Who, or if I can't get the precons, I just want one of each of the commanders, which is cheaper.
Make
I'm
sure you
playing
get
Rams-
all the fish sticks and custard.
Nah. But what's making me like the most happy about MTG recently is it's much more chiller than Yu-Gi-Oh! Like we were talking about, Frank and me were talking about before the show. It's chiller. They'll let you. They literally, they throw out their codes. So I told them I'm not going to be back for a while. Same with the codes. They did it. Same with the codes. But every time I go to my locals, everyone's handing me codes but 2 people. And then I immediately hand them to the mods in the furry Telegram group that I'm in, and then they post them. Because they told me, sure, you can post them. I post all 6 at one time, and I cause chaos. I'm like, son of a bitch. I was half awake doing this. So, like, never do that again. I'm like, I'm sorry. But yeah, like, Magic is so much fun. And the best part about Magic is, even if you have a Chromebook or a shitty laptop, you can play Arena. Arena doesn't hit that hard on you. Like, it's not like playing Hearthstone where you have to have so much RAM.
Or Shadowverse, which takes up 3/4 of your
Oh my god.
phone.
Dude, I seen someone try to play Shadowverse on a Chromebook and a shitty laptop, and they just couldn't do shit. and then also, Wizards is having a tournament going on right now. Pro League is going on right now, and I found a bunch of EDH channels. It's not like, oh, you walk into a Yu-Gi-Oh chat and say, yeah, I'm a casual and a budget player, and get laughed at off of the internet. Magic the Gathering, like, oh, you're this type of player? Cool. I mean, Magic the Gathering might have a pedo bear problem, but super chill. Like, if you were to walk into a Yu-Gi-Oh chat and say, yeah, I like playing for hire.
Or
You're
Red Dragon Archfiend.
No. Like, here's an example. Someone says, I like playing Amazonas. And I'm like, okay, mommy milkers. In the other chat, I like playing Amazonas. And then the whole chat started going on them. And I'm just sitting here watching that shit. And then they said my name. I'm like, what do you think about this? I'm like, I think you're all a bunch of bitches. You don't get no dick, or you don't get no pussy. And I got banned from that shit.
Speaking of
what?
I was going to say, speaking of Magic, wasn't there some weird incident where Wizards of the Coast literally raided some dude's house to take all of his cards?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that happened. That
Some
happened. That
epic
happened.
mistake.
That
Yeah,
happened, but I don't want to bring it up because I don't have an opinion on that. And if I did have an opinion on that, I would probably get this whole entire Discord server and all your accounts deleted if I were to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we better
Yeah.
don't
I
talk
am a
about that.
sick sadistic motherfucker if I see innocent people get hurt.
Be,
And
be,
if
because
yeah.
because I know I heard about the news and people were memeing on it super hard, which is how I found out about it. They were like, "Oh, does Magic the
Yeah.
Gathering now have some sort of like hit squad?"
Let's just leave that
Yeah,
subject
Honestly, I'm
on.
with
It's a
Blitz
thing
here.
that
We should
happened
keep
and move
this.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
indeed.
I
I'm with
gotta say,
Blitz here. We should
all
keep
I
this
gotta,
our spirits high in this, not drop it low to the negative.
yeah, all I
Mhm.
gotta say is I am glad I'm a casual. I'm glad I'm not competitive. I'm glad I'm not signing any contracts. Because if I were a competitive player, I'm like, how'd you enjoy the game? I fucking fisted his asshole. Oh, you're banned.
Hmm.
Okay, so was there any more Magic news?
The only other thing is playing the EDH Running Series deck tonight. And as for Magic the Gathering, like if you see short printed stuff, don't feel bad. Oh, and if you want to buy Magic the Gathering stuff from Walmart, don't. Their their booster packs are $8. EDH decks are like 60 to 65, and now they're talking about. I've heard laws have eyes and ears. I've heard that they're going to charge $100 for the EDH decks, even if they're only 80 for Doctor Who and Lord of the Rings. So if you want to get into Magic the Gathering, support Walmart. Like,
Or Target.
well, Target's a little bit better because I know people who work at the Targets and get their discounts. Walmart, I can never get a discount. Hell, someone could tell me if I worked with Walmart, I could have $1,000 worth of free stuff every year. Oh no, $1,000 for free stuff every year or $200 every month, and I would be like, no, shove it up your ass. Why would I work for a community who belittled people and made people feel bad? Plus, in my Walmart, it's super hick, and they put down anyone who's not straight. Let's say that. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Magic is just getting out of hand with their short printings, and Phyrexia was so bad. You know how bad Phyrexia was?
Sure.
This card that I bought, selling at 15. And when it found out it was short printed, it shot up to 70.
Ah.
And then now it's back down to 30.
That's
$30.
depressing.
Tell me why everything in that set, also if it has to do with Elish Horn, simps, just fucking flood in and eat that shit up. It's Magic. It's just I just don't like the fact that they're doing more shorter prints. Like they told me, oh yeah, we were getting 12 bundles, a case, a case of the bundles, all this other shit, and now they're only getting 3 bundles, a few boxes, and a few packs. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it. And it's bad enough that my locals has to list shit by hand because we live in a small town and it's old school.
Right.
The best thing about my locals is Japanese Kit Kats. They get Pocky. You're basically when you walk into this locals, it's like you're walking into an anime store. You got your Pocky, you got your candies, you got this, and this. You got your video games, you got your old school manga, and my locals is very old school. They got stuff from the 50s music wise, board games wise. They got Kurt Warner's jersey signed. They got singers of all that. Then they got WWE wrestlers from the 60s all the way up till now. And my locals, what I love the most is my locals, if someone were to go in and drop $1,000 on a PS3 combo, they could have all the good War PS games, all the good Lego PS3 games. Get a PS3. And my locals has old video game systems like the NES. They had a Kaleido, but someone bought that. But yeah, the locals is chill. The best part
Okay.
about my locals is it's only a 20-minute walk when I'm tired, a 10-minute walk when I'm not.
Well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
just like me and King Games. The only real diff is that King Game no longer does Vanguard, so I have to go all the way up to Queens.
Oh, Queens, New York's kind of shitty, dog. Be safe.
I I am. I have to
I'm
take
like,
Hmm?
two trains all the way up to Queens to do Vanguard.
oh, dude, be careful on trains. Like St. Louis is ridiculous. I'm like, I used to visit my friend every weekend before COVID, before that, and then COVID happened and everyone lost their mind. It's like we're in a different dimension. My friend's like, hey, want to come visit me? I'm like, yeah, so I can get stabbed on a train. Fuck that.
Britain moment.
Rip.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Now, the reason we went ahead and let Blitz do his card game thing is because he wanted to do that before he had to leave. But right after that, I told Zivuth that he had something he wanted to talk about. He could go next, and then we'll get to the card games.
Yeah,
Cool.
also first one, I started to write my own light novel because I can draw when I originally wanted to draw a manga, but maybe it's the best thing to start with writing first.
Well, that's awesome.
I
Nice.
can share it here later when you want.
Absolutely. I think we actually have a section for that somewhere in the server. I'll dig it up.
The second thing I wanted to talk about, which might some of you would have never thought of that or think I'm weird or something. I I made the decision that I want to wear heel boots in the future because they look so cool and all that.
They
That's
really
okay.
fucking
Nice.
do. I like that idea. If you can pull them off, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, what is your opinion on that? Because I think it doesn't matter if you're a woman or not, you can wear what you want.
Everybody deserves the right to experiment with pretty much every piece of clothing there is. There's no reason not to. You only live once. There was a
True.
brief period in my time where I tried them too.
Mm-hmm.
I tried
Exactly.
This is
I
true.
tried multiple different things with heels. The hard part's walking in them.
Yes.
Dude, I don't know. I've seen too many goddamn. I know too many friends who are transitioning who rock heels harder than girls. I can see it now. Good
That's
those good memories.
that's
Good
fine. I just
memories.
don't have the
They,
leg structure for it.
I will post the picture here of the I saw and I want for all our viewers. I mean, you might have seen them already in the media channel.
Go right ahead. Oh yeah, those.
Very
They're
nice. Very nice.
yeah. They
Oh
look awesome,
God.
and those
No,
those straps all over them look nice.
I
Yeah, they really
I
do.
remember the character from that. That was from Black Butler,
Oh,
the
that's who
Yeah,
Undertaker
that's from.
thing.
the
Okay.
Undertaker. He was the best character. I love that guy.
Absolutely.
Ah,
Absolutely. I don't watch Black Butler very often because the plot doesn't
But
really grip
I
me, but
have a but I have a few problems. The first problem is, are they in my feed side? Since women boots tend to be not that large, like women are known to have small feet. And the
yeah,
second,
that's gonna be a
like
problem.
I have 46 shoe size, and I don't know if I can get them in that size.
that is a problem when
I do
trying
know
to
that there are
wear
some stores
shoes like that.
that sell extra large shoes like that online. I mean, there's a market for just about everything online if you know where to look.
Yep.
I
True.
mean,
This is
I
Which is a
true.
bet
beautiful thing, really.
I can find the shoes on the picture on Amazon, and Amazon is known to have different options for their stuff.
Give it a look
Mm-hmm.
then. Hopefully you find them.
Mm.
Yeah, but the second problem is I don't know how to tell my parents that I want to wear heel boots.
Ooh,
Like,
ooh.
Yeah.
like I
Hmm.
it's not that I'm ashamed of myself or something, but I don't know how they react. Since
I
That
feel you.
Yeah,
yeah, that's going to be a
that is
problem.
true.
That's going to be a problem you're going to have to deal with when it comes to living with your parents still. You're just going to need to bring it up to them. If you really are that interested in doing that, you need to bring it up to them and just tell them that this is something you're interested in trying to see if it's for you. If they're not,
Mhm.
if they're understanding, then that's fine. If they're not, then I'm not really sure what to tell you. I've never been a fan of trying to hide things from people.
Agreed.
yeah, because
I'm
when I told them that I went with my friends to the Super Mario movie, they just said, "Isn't that a children movie? Like,
Isn't
you
it a
can
what
understand
movie?
me? You can understand my concerns?"
Of course. We can definitely
Yeah,
understand the concerns. I think we've all been in that position somewhere, in some way.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Yep.
too honest. You could ask me anything, and I can't lie, which
Well, you
sucks.
well you live that unga bunga lifestyle, so
Yeah, true.
You could ask me anything, anybody. You have the chance to do it now, or hold your peace.
do you have a
Mhm.
discount code to get 30% off my next purchase of Fire?
yeah.
No, that was my
Maybe some
first
of
reading.
you have tips how to tell it my parents. After the podcast, when you want my DMs are always open, and I will happily greet it here on the server when you ping me.
Sure.
And
If
the
Sure.
yeah, if
I
and
we think of
the
anything,
fine.
we'll let you know.
Mhm.
and the third problem is because I don't directly want to buy boots actually, since they aren't cheap. Is to try them out. Like, I'm way too shy to just walk into a shoe store, into the women's section, and try them on. Like, I firstly never walked in them, so nobody is there to help me walk a line with in them.
That
And then
is
also the German story securities are kind of like bitches most of the time. Like, when
Yeah.
they would see me in the women's section, they would directly kick me out not, and may call it to the police, like they reported to them.
Okay, there is one thing that I can recommend that might actually work. I don't know if it'll work over there, but it's worked in here. Tell them that you have a sibling that is exactly your size of shoe.
That does work.
It's worked
Clever.
this is
wonders for
true.
myself and a lot of people that I know who've wanted to get stuff for other people, but don't want them to know.
That
But
this is
how
true.
do but how do I explain it when I wear them? Like, when they ask why you have to wear it, then when you know the size?
Because if they fit you, then they'll fit them.
Well, yeah, that's the point. But just as I said, German story securities are bitches.
There's not really much else I can recommend. That's the best shot that I've ever been able to come up with when it comes to this type of scenario, and I've dealt with this a lot.
And there's also the problem we have most likely summer now. There won't be any boots for sale.
Hmm.
Like, boots are mainly sold in autumn and winter.
That's going to be another issue you'll have to handle on your own case. The only other thing I
Yeah.
can recommend would be to
Yeah.
go. Oh, there is one possibility. Some stores have off season sales where they'll just have racks and bins of clearance stuff because they're out of season. Since we're heading into summer as it is, you might be able to find the remnants of a winter and spring sale.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
thanks that you guys listen to me and also understand my situation. And I hope you are happy for me that I want to try it out. And I think, yeah, it I already see myself in them, and
Dude,
how sexy I will look, or how good
dude,
I
I will
mean,
look.
dude, you do whatever you need to do. Whatever makes you happy.
I
Indeed.
mean,
And
Agreed.
I
I will
can't.
promise when I will try some out, or even buy the pairs I showed, I will make a picture of me wearing them. I
Aw-
promise that.
Awesome.
Honestly, I can't say that I can relate when it comes to like heeled boots or just heels in general. But when it comes to something like a dress, I can relate. My friends are. It's like on one hand, I could I mean, some of my friends would joke around saying, "You could totally rock a dress, Raven." I'm just sitting there with the mental imagery and the ponder, and it's on one hand, it would probably be comfortable, and I'd probably look fabulous as hell. But on the other hand, it'd probably be embarrassing as hell, and I'd have to do a lot of explaining.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
imagine myself in being in a public bus with wearing heels and everyone just looking at me with weird looks.
That's really just something you have to come to terms with. Not everyone's going to agree with whatever it is you want to do or however it is you want to look amazing, and that's just you just have to
Yeah,
weigh
but I'm
it.
good at it to ignore such things.
Yeah.
Like
Cherish
I
the
let
ones
them
that
think
like
what they
you.
want.
Cherish the ones closest to you because they're the ones that support you.
Absolutely. Even if it's something as minor as wanting to wear a pair of high heel boots around in public. If you can stride in that shit, ride it.
Don't do it.
Definitely.
I will look at your butt.
And
And
it's
I'll
the
be like,
thing I
yes.
really want to do. Like I think myself I just look shit in normal shoes and I even wearing sneakers at this point and I still look shit in it.
Trust me, dude, I know
I
where you're
think.
coming from, man. I've got
Yeah.
freaking hooves at the end of my legs. You have any idea how hard it is to find shoes that work for me?
Yes, I can't. Dress shoes for me are a very painful experience.
But hooves are heels in their own right.
And you would be surprised, but the heel boots on the picture are way cheaper than some sneakers in the shoe store.
That doesn't surprise me. It's for a very
for
niche market.
For the Puma sneakers, I paid $115.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, okay,
Who do I need to
$115 for a quality pair of shoes that'll last you a long time. That's not exactly unheard of.
No, hell no. Just be like me. Buy running shoes. That's all I ever buy now.
Yeah, that's what
One,
I do
don't.
too. Last pair of shoes I bought for myself for leisure and not work was like $17.
Yeah, I got like $26 Asics because back in the day of my young youthful, when I was a sexy beast caveman, and now I'm awesomely sexy beast caveman. Well, I got a food baby. You know what I mean? We get that food baby, and you gotta make sure it's fed every day, or it's gonna make you angry. Yeah, I got that to the point that I'm actually wearing what I wore to work, and my mom's like, "You're not gonna wear that shirt anymore. It's too tight on you." I'm like, "Bro, I like this shirt. Well, it's too small. It shows your belly." I'm like, "Hey, if a girl don't like my belly, that means I'm not eating." That's another story for another day.
Well, I'll follow that up with this. People will hate you all the time for your gut. You just got to remember, Uncle Grandpa supports belly buddies.
This is true.
True. He does. This man's dying over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we condone belly buddies here. We condone them. You can be a belly buddy with me.
Or was it Belly
here.
Brothers? I can't remember which.
I don't remember. We just go ahead. Everyone put belly to belly.
I think it was Belly Brothers.
We killed somebody here. You good?
And that joke slayed him.
He's dying.
Like randomly.
I think we killed Chaos. Well, I think we just killed Chaos.
I gave him the laugh.
He's
I
gonna
gave
laugh,
him the
guys.
laugh virus.
We killed Chaos. That's a
Swear to
feat.
God, you make a fucking Skylanders reference. I will
Oh, no.
actually server mute you. I hate
Oh,
that shit.
But before
no,
I
we
give
were-
the word back to Nanashi, I want to say, in case you see this podcast on YouTube, leave your opinion in the comments what you think about it with
All right, my
men
comment's gonna be
wearing-
eat pizza.
with
Fire
men
good.
wearing
The only
heels
question
and
I
all
have
of
to
that
ask
stuff.
is, are you gonna twerk in the high heels?
Oh my god.
Oh,
I would
Lord.
like. Can I see this for science?
Exactly, for science.
What is that
Need-
comment?
You need to know for science.
It's for science.
Science
I need to.
did not know.
Exactly, Kenny.
Well,
And what I say now might
I'm
be
a simple man.
might be
I
fully
invented fire.
biased.
I need to see
Please,
this.
please, Nashi, have that as one of the title
Guys.
selections for when you
God, this
Starting
went
to-
somewhere else.
Starting to derail. Just saying.
Yeah, we're starting to derail again, guys. Come on, let's
Is
bring
that
it
a
back.
bad
Now,
thing?
now,
Please, yeah, let's get
Zivith
back
had
on track.
okay. Now Zivith had something he wanted to finish up with. What was that?
Yeah, I wanted to say that might be biased what I say now, but maybe wearing boots will also find me a girlfriend. I mean, for real, I'm so ugly and so unfunny and everything. I never found a girl yet because they don't want to talk to me, most likely. Probably like,
Dude, I've been there. I was not able. I had to go until 29 before I finally found the one that I ended up marrying.
and you have an awesome wife.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
say that.
I am extremely lucky. That's all there is to it.
Okay, now I give for real the word back to you.
All
I'd
right.
sound like a total dick if I put input there.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
Nanashi?
let's go ahead and get to the next topics on the list then. Unless anybody else had anything random they wanted to talk about real quick.
All right, guys.
No, yeah, just wanted to mention
no,
it
I'm
was
joking.
up.
I'm joking.
You're good.
About the whole Amber Heard situation. She has now quit Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Understandable.
OnlyFans, she comes.
Good riddance! Good riddance, bitch! Nothing
okay.
Speaking of
about
Hollywood, Carrie Fisher got a star today on the Walk of Fame.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually saw Billy Lord's post
She
on
gets what she
Instagram.
fucking
after-
deserved. Sorry.
I saw Billy Lord's post.
It's such a
on
shame
her
that she
Instagram.
couldn't be there anymore.
I'm
She
sorry,
deserves.
Nanashi?
She deserves her failure.
Okay. So
It was
what,
the
guys,
sweetest thing.
What, Connor? What were you saying?
I saw an Instagram post by Billy Lord, Carrie's daughter, and it's actually the sweetest thing in the world with May the 4th thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
you guys
so-
not far from me, but it sounds you sound like you're far from the mic to me.
Oh
Who?
yeah. Connor sounds a little distant.
A little bit.
Hold on. Is this good enough?
That's much better.
That's better.
yeah.
You're good. You're good now.
All
I
right.
actually. So, I actually didn't know this. She gets what she deserves. You do not try to put the allegations you do on Johnny Depp. The man's done miracles.
Okay. Well, let's leave it at that because otherwise we're gonna be screaming about this for a while because I think we can all
Yeah,
agree
no,
that what
of
happened
course.
was bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, of course. That was all I had to say.
Plus, this whole time I've been trying to tell you an important heads up.
What's up?
So just letting you know, on this podcast, my time is going to be a little bit limited because I have some things on my schedule. But when we eventually do get to cards, I would like to get my story out first.
Okay. Is it related to Yu-Gi-Oh then?
Yes, it is.
Okay. How long do you think you have?
I have at least until roughly 5:30ish.
Okay, so about 30 minutes ish.
Yeah.
Okay, if we run through this decently quick, we should be able to get to your thing pretty efficiently, because we are limited on time for Ori as well.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so let's go ahead.
Let's save the ban list talk for last.
Well, actually, I don't know if you were here for this, but we don't talk about the ban list on the show anymore because it takes up way too much time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we ramble about it every single time, and it
No,
just takes
it's
too much time.
that's fair. That's fair.
Even before the podcast, we rambled about it.
Yeah, that's actually the best time to talk about it. So let's get on to the list. First off, Digimon. Anything new?
Alright, it's lightning round time. There's not much for me to talk about. Main set 12 across time is now out. However, it was released on the 28th of April, but the set has been delayed in France and Iberia to today's date at time of recording, May 5th, while UK is delayed to May 12th next week. Additionally, we have a new Ultimate Cup rulings for the period of June till August. Posting that right now. And it's going to be another monocolor format with its own custom ban list. Currently limited for this list is Promo Grand Kuwagamon, Chaos Degradation, Hydramon, and EX2 Impmon, while additional banned cards are Death Xmon, Wagurumon X, and Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode. And now the big one, we have news for a new set, EX5, which will be called Animal Colosseum. Not much is known, but it is mainly based around the sovereigns of the digital world, and apparently will contain a new keyword of indomitable. Indomitable. Words! Or how it goes, please.
English is
But aside from
hard.
that- Indeed. But aside from that, not much is known, and that is all I have news-wise.
Okay, yeah, that's a lightning round for the ages.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Thank
I
you.
don't have anything listed as far as Pokemon news. Does anyone know anything about that?
No.
I'd
Honestly,
actually
no.
like to remark about the fact that Pokemon has failed to meet their promise of releasing Pokemon Bank in the spring of 2023.
No
What?
kidding.
A company lying?
I'm not kidding.
Bank.
I mean, not Pokemon Bank. I hope Pokemon Home. The update for Scarlet
Oh,
/ Violet.
okay. I was wondering
It
what you were
comes way
referencing.
too late.
I'm sorry,
Like,
Pokemon Home.
How
like
did
I already
Pokemon
lost
Sleep
fully
go, by
interest
the
into
way?
that game.
All I'm
Fair enough.
curious about with Pokemon is with the 3 next starters they do, where they get to slap the crap single this time.
That's true. Is it bad that sometimes, and you maybe all you can agree with me, when you watch Pokemon, and you just go like, man, can we let people make the Pokemon next time, not just the company? Can we let the
Yeah.
people do it? Because I'd be watching this one band who literally made a whole Pokemon region for like the 4 states of like Arizona, Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico, like the 4 corners.
Oh,
Isn't
Also,
yeah.
there already a
everyone,
region for
every noob
Arizona?
running around in PvP with the
It-
dolphin Pokemon now because
it-
Game Freak just gave it out.
Oh,
Mhm.
like I seen a dude make one of India and just start. I'm like, bro, let the people do it. Let's see how good that would be.
They
That
Let's
would
probably
be
have.
neat.
shouldn't make one based off of Arizona because there's already a region based off Arizona.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's really
Or
the
region.
4. Yeah, but no, it's the 4
okay.
corners, which is Arizona, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico.
I
Which the
see what
main
he's
one
getting
being
at.
Colorado. And I
Other
can
than
send
that,
it
I
to you
don't think
guys if
there's
you
much,
want.
by the way.
It's actually pretty good. I watched it. It's like a 3-hour video. I'll send it later after like the podcast. But it was really good. I'm like, bro, why can't we just take over? Game Freak, let people take over. We can create for y'all. Come on, give us the keys. We'll take it to the next level. But you're not gonna make it.
You can trust us.
We can trust us. We're not gonna. We already seen what it feels like. We got Lumpany out of the system. We got Gardevoir out of the system. We can make something better than that. I'm joking. No, but I don't know. I just think sometimes why can't we just let the people do the people thing? Because we the people.
I feel like that lead to a whole duality situation. On one hand, you could get cool Pokemon, but on the other hand, you might get some cursed DeviantArt trash.
I mean,
What
I do
isn't cursed on
think it's a
DeviantArt?
good idea for the. I think it's like an idea for maybe the community, maybe for the company to hire artists and whatnot that have already been creating Pokemon online as professional artists to make concepts. But right now, I think that their biggest problem is the fact that they're just creating the same metagame each region.
Right.
Mhm.
Like,
Where what they let me explain this. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield, right? How
Ugh.
many Pokemon out of the Gen 8 roster were actually meta?
Like 20.
Yeah. And how many Pokemon got stat changes or any other significant type of reworks?
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
None. And then with the DLC, they did the same. They just released Pokemon back. Aerodactyl is a rock and flying type Pokemon that only has Takedown as a recoil move that procs its Rockhead ability. Meanwhile, Crobat, Blaziken, and other various non-birds get Brave Bird.
I mean, for Crobat, it makes sense. It's a flying type move.
I mean,
And
it's a bat though, and Blaziken isn't even a flying type.
No, but it is a chicken.
It
Mhm.
is an angry chicken though.
and bats are basically just birds with titties.
Yeah, but
Can't
my
argue
point
that one.
still is that Aerodactyl is a flying type Pokemon with Rockhead, and it doesn't get. And I understand that maybe that's because you could literally just run Choice Scarf, Terra Flying, or Choice Band, Brave Bird, Rockhead, Aerodactyl, and that'd be very strong. But at least it would be some type of rework for a Pokemon. They have not done changes on a majority of the Pokemon roster that they return in each game. I can name a ton of Pokemon that are never going to be used in actual legitimate play that are in Scarlet and Violet. Zangoose, Seviper, Tropius, Greedent, and a majority of the other Pokemon that they've added. But I still managed to name 5 there. I don't go through the Scarlet Violet Pokedex off the top of my head anymore.
It's fine.
But they really need to rework the games before people realize just how stagnant it is. Because that's what's going to eventually kill them off, is that people are going to get wise to this making games like this, and shiny hunting is going to be boring.
Well,
Yeah.
on the subject of killing off, Nagron was so kind to remind me of. I think I'm echoing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who?
From Chaos.
For
I think it's
me?
you, Chaos.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Hold on one sec.
Sure. Yep, it's you.
Okay, bye whoever left.
That was Chaos.
It was Chaos.
He's leaving and joining back to see if he can fix the problem real quick.
Yeah. Are we almost past the area of Pokemon?
Just about. There was one thing I was going to bring up because Nagron was so kind as to bring it up because I completely forgot about this. So once he comes back, I'll mention this, and to get it into
That's
the
the
where we need to
dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I had to switch devices because I have to cook part of dinner anyway. But go
it's
on.
fine. Can you? Okay. Okay. Well, what I was going to bring up is that Nagron was so kind as to remind me of the one Pokemon-related article that I completely forgot about. There's a Japanese store that has banned adults from buying Pokemon cards so that they can't be resold, and so kids have better access to them.
You know what? That is actually not bad because scalpers are scum.
That they are. I cannot argue that this is technically exclusionary business practice, but they have the right to do that, although I don't know if that translates over into Japan, though. But in any case, it makes sense. I will say that it makes sense.
Stuff like that is why it's so hard to find any like trading cards at all at a Walmart, because long ago, I mean, Walmart still remembers this, is that a person walking out buying a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards got hit by 2 card drifters that was caught on tape of getting basically mugged and beat down in front of the entrance. And ever since then, they just try their best not to get involved with cards, and it's very hard to find stores that still sell them.
Yeah, I remember the Target incident from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, they took a whole pallet of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah,
not Yu-Gi-Oh Pokemon cards.
I do not blame them at all for doing what they did after all that. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. And besides, like those same people can just go online and purchase the stuff from there, and it's only to scalp. So, like, if anything, smart kids are just going to sell those cards that they don't want online.
It just gets really low when they resort to mugging people for cards.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Some of these cards are worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, but it's trading cards. At least have the decency to hit a bank or something.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should probably just be. Honestly, they should be treated as the same type of criminal, like that go out and mug.
Yeah, say to be rude, but there's a lot of background noise.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm putting stuff on. I'm trying to do dinner.
Maybe
while
like maybe like a push to talk or something.
One sec. I'll just get it out there. I genuinely think people who do those kinds of criminal shit over Yu-Gi-Oh cards should be treated with a slightly more major punishment.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Than recreation. Like there are those who steal a purse in New York, and then there's someone that's gonna mug you over cards. I think that the person that's mugging you over cards is even more guilty than the person mugging there. Like, just because it's petty to do it.
We can argue the severity of what you steal versus the fact that you stole in the first place in a criminality show, probably. But I will not argue that does make some amount of sense.
Listen, I get it. Shiny cardboard is appealing, but is a person's life really worth it all?
Yeah,
I would say no.
No.
when I was lucky and got the actual money card in first edition, which was Pot of Desires, I didn't sell it even when it was $115 during that time. But I said no, it's not money, it's my card.
Understandable. Now,
The only time
but-
I would hesitate is if it were a Millennium Rare Slifer, but even then, I'd probably say it's definitely a crime.
That's like some shit
Yeah.
you'd see in the anime itself. Some kid just pulls a really rare card and gets mugged outside the store.
Oh
And even when
yeah.
I
don't-
would
you-
pull
you
a
don't
Starlight Rare, which is over 1,000 worth, I wouldn't sell it. I would keep
Little
it for
Timmy gets
myself.
a Starlight Rare, goes outside to leave the store to go back home, and gets mugged by some dude that he dueled once in the locals.
Ooh,
Reminds me
never
of
forget-
Kaiba.
A little bit.
Kaiba,
Yeah.
I could see old Kaiba doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it reminds me of two things. One, the bullshit thing of Declan from Arc 5 saying that real duelists don't throw hands, we use cards. And Yusei saying fuck that by uppercutting a bunch of security guards in a
Oh
hallway.
yes, I
Oh
remember
yeah.
Yes.
He's sure you can do security guard.
Absolute
Like-
Chad.
Like,
Mhm.
like I
Ultimate
keep thinking
Chad.
about that because in Arc 5, like
Also,
those
you
guards,
might
like, okay,
hate me
let's
for
duel
that
these guards,
opinion.
get past them, duel to the next. They actually did that in the show. Well, Yusei is like, no, fuck that, throwing hands. It's like no time for cards. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, you say
You
for
might
Street
hate me
Fighter.
Didn't
for
you
that
say duel
opinion,
people
but
that had guns?
you might hate me for that opinion, but I think that Reiji Akaba is the true king of games.
I
Like
Fair. Fair.
I
I get what
can't.
you mean.
Reiji Akaba, the Seto Kaiba from Arc V.
The
Mhm.
dude who used DDDs.
I'm not even going to argue that point because I don't really have an argument for or against it. I was not a huge fan of Arc V in general, so my opinion is going to obviously be swayed. But so let's continue to the next topic. Originally, we'd be talking about Card Fight Vanguard, but I'm assuming there's quite a bit of news.
Still somewhat news. There's a new Blitz order for Grifogilia that I'm gonna read it out. One, the new Grifogilia, it's just a Blitz order that says put a Dragon Tree marker somewhere that doesn't have one. Pick a unit that's being punched. It gets 10,000 power. If it's Grifogilia itself, give it 20 instead.
Whew.
It's but the new stuff is the new Roroa, which is just more tanking, bleh. New stuff for blitz orders in Stoicheia, which I'm like, but one interesting thing that came up was Affectionate Hunter Matthias.
Ooh.
If he comes onto the field from the hand and your vanguard is Roroa, kill 2 rear guards, which will probably be plant tokens. You don't have to worry about it. Pick something grade 2 or lower and call it to rear guard. Kind of surprising. So you just neg 1 for free. When your battle phase begins, if you have a Roroa and a Radalia, you call a plant token, basically refunding the cost of him coming out.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he's a net wash for the deck, which the deck kind of needed. And if you play the new Roroa, you get to draw,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
which is kind of okay.
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 Other than that, because most of it's just other stuff that's already Thagria, which we have officially just called Coin Boobs. Thagria is, if you drop it on the any version of Thagria, whether it be light Thagria or dark Thagria, you it's treated as a persona ride because she copies the name of the card under it. Pitch one, pick a Thegria in your soul, ride it, you ride her, bind her, and activate persona ride. You
Jeez,
can't
that's a lot.
Indeed.
it's basically just to double up on persona ride so that your Thegria is now 20,000 power. Your Thegria will now swing for 33. If it's the dark, your opponent has to take 33 twice. If it's the light, you're going to summon whatever and put it onto the field. But this is just more good things for Thegria.
No out.
That's awesome.
And there's a new grade 2 that picks up the either Thegria's set orders. I've not read any of Thegria's cards. I do not know what the fuck this deck actually does. Or all I just remember is that Thegria boobs.
Indeed.
That's
And it
one way to remember a card right there.
and if he after he attacks, eat something else, you pick something that has glitter, Thegria, or maple, and it gets power 5k. But literally, I'm just like, I'll live with this. But the only, but I once I once I have the oh the new structure, the new over triggers. One says if you pull me, you pick one rear guard that's standing. After it attacks, it restands. If you cannot, call something from hand. I will be playing this in Welstra because it literally just says, let Freischutz punch your opponent in the face, which I'm like, good shit all around. The, the other overs just says, it's literally monster reincarnation, but your Vanguard gets a crit.
Of course, because nothing on the
It's
board can't get a benefit if you don't do something else.
Yes, it's literally just monster reincarnation. Very few decks are actually going to. You're playing that in Welstra, no matter what,
Gotcha.
because you can't play the Stargate one in Welstra, because you don't make numbers like that. The only thing that makes numbers in Welstra is Freischutz and Welstra himself. You're always going to have one column that's lacking.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's probably just going to break Chronojet again. Also, something you might want to look into, because we're getting the start of every era has been our encounter, which means the start of limp. By the time BT12 or BT13 comes out, one thing I'm kind of betting is we're going to see Liberators, we're going to see Eradicators, and we're going to see Link Joker, which I'm kind of betting he gonna come. Chaos Breaker's coming back,
More than likely.
and that's a scary thought. Chaos Breaker will just look at half the shit in overdress and laugh at you. Chaos Breaker will laugh at every mask deck and just be like, "That's cute, lock."
That is what they do.
Dredjeweled might cry just from lock itself. Like you want to make a old curmudgeon at Vanguard cry. Just tell them the words lock.
Fair enough.
We have yet to hear of what, because in BT11 they're supposed to tell us what Ezo and Vermilion are going to do. Because if I don't build Gandiva, I'm building Vermilion.
Fair enough.
because it is coming in August. I mean, this September is Vermilion. I will be playing that.
Alright, so
Let's.
Was that
it's 20 past snap. It's like 10 minutes until whoever has to go. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna
sorry.
say. Is that all
I'm
the
about to
news?
say, like,
That's all the news for now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, then Vukara, go ahead and tell your story, and then we'll get to the Vice Schwartz stuff after that.
okay. So as for my segment, I would like to tell you all about a way you can bring back a certain archetype that has been lost for a long time around a bit of an older era. Worms. Slimy boys, reptiles. An archetype that some people see as a lower underdog with good potential. Some people just see it as the magic carp of Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes.
That's a good
With
term
this,
for it,
I'm going to
actually.
show you
I thought that was Gen X.
True. With this, I'm going to tell you about a few cards that, when added, will bulk up the worms you already have, from very wimpy worm like Apocalypse being a stretchy, like limpy version of Pickle Rick, to a big muscular worm like a Worm Warlord with big fists ready to win that will lead you right into victory, or should I say, worm victory. So along with that of listing out things and occasionally laughing at the Japan version of Worm King, here's the list of spells, traps, and monsters I have figured out that help out. We're starting with extra deck of Hippo Shiningen and King of Frail Imps. Both utilize attack boost with the light archetype and searching for the right reptile you need. As for spells, there is quite a few on this list, but the biggest one to talk about is the field spell Orgdoic Origin, which allows you to utilize the fact that worms always get blown up in duels to your advantage. And if you manage to end up going after the field spell, good thing about this, you can nuke a large amount of the opponent's field of cards in general, equal to the amount of worms you have in the graveyard, making it very good. Best to run this at least 2 or 3. As for other spells, the rest of these spells are based off of your own preference of what you prefer to put in your worm deck. There's Lair of the of the Elder Horror for good attack boost and draw support. There's Solidarity. Multiscape is always going to be a good one. I'd suggest running that at 3. Luminous Spark for good attack boost and disadvantage due to the large amount of people that run Dark Attribute. As for traps, to make a good a surprise minefield out of the amount of flip effects that worms have, Junk Sleep can always help you out. And for a good control of the opponent's strategies to one hand them, definitely good to have Ordotic Hollow, a good way to tap into the opponent's graveyard. As for main effect monsters, I only have 2 on the list, just mainly because worms do take up a good portion of the monsters you have in the deck. One of which is Golden Ladybug. Honestly, I would recommend Golden Ladybug for most decks. I have 2 of them just because I feel like 3 would be overboard. And Barrier Statue of the Heavens to utilize the light archetype. And that would be basically all of the options I would put for worms. And if any of you all have any other opinions on worms, have at it. That is the list of what I would recommend for bulking up your worms that you might have tucked away in your closet.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, dude. I know you're already a YouTuber, but have you ever considered actually making Yu-Gi-Oh content? Because that's like a cooking show for card games.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Let this man cook.
Like honestly, you could make an entire show out of cooking card game decks. Like that was actually really well done.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very much.
I was
Make
thinking
sure to
about
season them with pepper.
just don't season them with some slimy worm ugly.
I've heard of worse things that you can do. But seriously, dude, that was incredibly well done. But I will admit that when you said you were going to say a story, I actually thought you had a story.
Indeed.
That was like a rehearsal for a video, honestly. And I'm not complaining. It was actually a really good little spiel.
To be honest, I quickly rehearsed it in my head while I was waiting through other people, doing their stories.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing,
but
man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And like I said, if any of you have any other topics that you want to say about worms, by all means.
Oh yeah, remember that one time where worms were actually kind of meta because they were really effective against 6 samurai for whatever reason?
Oh yeah.
Isn't there a Gen X card that also surprisingly works well with them? I believe it's Gen X Li Triforce, which can set a light monster.
Yes, if you use a light monster as synchro material, yeah.
Yeah, and of course there's that one trap that everyone talks about with worms, which is that meteorite.
Yeah, worm.
Banger.
Huh?
That's a banger card.
Yes, it is. It's worm meteorite X or something.
I think it's just W, but I think
meteorite.
That's what it is.
Fitting name.
Yeah. Okay, well, the next thing on my list was to talk about the Weisschwartz stuff real quick, and there's not a lot to talk, so I'm going to speed run this. The Bushiroad Championship Series is still ongoing, which is the three-man team massive tournament that has multiple events all over the world. Last month I wasn't able to talk about the one in Duluth, Georgia, because we didn't have the results yet. But they're finally out, and the winner was a team playing the Hololive Kanata Marine deck, the Kaguya-sama Red-Blue, and the Danmachi Red-Blue, which isn't exactly unexpected. They also had a result tournament over on April 22nd, 23rd in the Philippines. 29 teams participated, and the winning team was using Day Live Red, Bang Dream Yellow, and Sword Art Online Yellow blend, which might become a bigger problem because the new Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary pack dropped recently, which is giving them all kinds of new stuff to play with. On April 29th and 30th in Houston, Texas, they had 63-man teams show up, which the winning team was using Seven Deadly Sins Escanor, which is post-ban list, I believe, reincarnated as a Slime Red-Yellow, and Bang Dream Red-Blue. In Rouen, France, they had 23-man teams, and the winning team used Hololive Kanata Marine, Quince Red, and Tokyo Revengers Red-Yellow, which is the dual-lane build, I believe. As far as new products, the Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary Pack is officially out, as I mentioned, as well as Season 2 pack of Psychono, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. The only new information that we've received is that Avatar The Last Airbender has been confirmed for June 16th drop. The trial deck is about Season 1 all the way up to the Ocean Spirit attacking the Southern Water Tribe, if you all are familiar with that. And then the pack set itself is going to be about everything else. They just confirmed a new pack is dropping for the Review Starlight movie, which will be coming out on September 29th. And the only other news that I have about that is that Guilty Gear Strives pack is going to be dropping in winter of this year, and they have confirmed a new series called Lycoris Recoil, date to be determined. I actually had to look into that one because I had never heard of it before. It's a series about female orphans that are raised to be spies disguised as high school girls.
Why does thinking assassins, but
why does that plot line sound a bit familiar?
You've probably heard something identical to it.
Time.
You've probably heard about something identical to it.
I feel like the closest identical thing that I've heard in regards to that plot line was Totally Spies. I'm be real with you here.
You know, that's actually not that far off.
That's my first thought.
That is
actually,
literally Totally Spies.
Yeah. And now we can finally dip into the Yu-Gi-Oh topics, which I know we're all excited to get into. So a couple of things to go over real quick before we dive into the specifics. First off, the Tyler the Great Warrior auction.
Yes, that one.
Nanachi, it's 5:30, so I'm gonna dip out. It was nice talking with all of you.
It was nice seeing you again, man. Don't be a stranger, and feel free to come back anytime.
It was
of course, anytime.
It's nice to have you here.
All right, see you in the next one.
See you next time.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Too late.
It's cool. He'll hear it in the after show. But yeah,
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun to meet him while he was here.
Yeah, he was here a long time ago. He attended one or two shows, and then he ended up not being very active. It's good to see him again, honestly.
Yes, it really is.
So, getting back to the topic, though, the Tyler the Great Warrior auction officially ended, and the card sold for $311,211.
Lean.
I mean, it's not far-fetched. I believe there's only one copy in existence because it is a Make-A-Wish card.
Yes, it is, and it's originally based off of Trunks from DBZ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
forgot
obvious
what card it copies.
It's Flame Wingman. Tyler the
It's-
Great Warrior is literally just Flame Wingman, but 3,000.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
it can't be special summoned as 3,000 attack. If it destroys a monster, you deal burn damage, just like Flame Wingman. And I believe it has the Ancient Gear Golem effect of your opponent can't use back row when it attacks.
I don't recall. I haven't seen the card in forever.
Apologies to the kid. This card sucks ass.
Doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
was fantastic for the time it was created.
Yeah, it was.
And anyways, you can
Mhm.
officially say that if you put it in your deck, you have a $300,000 deck.
Whoa.
Yeah, think about that for a second.
The entire deck could be comprised
I
of
refuse to.
could be comprised of 25-cent commons, and you just have that, and the price of the deck boosts up.
Exactly. Okay, so next up.
I'm sorry. Are we talking about washing machine budget deck?
No, we were talking about Tyler the Great Warrior selling for $300,000.
Did Moist Critical buy it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, phony.
No,
If
I don't
only-
think he did.
Actually, I did.
I keep forgetting you can pull that off.
Mm.
All right, well,
I bought it, and it's now in my collection.
Well, the next topic on the
Never to be owned
list
by
was
anyone ever
actually
again.
sorry.
Never to be owned by anyone else ever again.
Yeah. Next topic on the list was actually about Yugipedia. They had a massive crash recently where they lost, what was it, 4 years worth of data?
3.
3? Okay. Well, as of yesterday, it is officially back up and running in full editable capacity.
Whoa.
Good.
Yeah, I remember there being a whole discourse of doom and gloom after the memory loss.
There
And
was.
that the potential that the only source of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff would be in fandom, as in the wiki making service, which is fine, but it's company owned, so unappealing to commoners.
It ain't no Yugipedia.
Yeah.
All right, well, next up is going to be the Master Duel stuff, because I've officially gotten back into Master Duel, and it's better than it was the last time I tried it. They released a selection pack, Blessings of Nature, back at the start of April, which imported the Vernisylph and Tearlament stuff, which made this game a hellscape for quite a while.
And now it's a hellscape on Master Duel.
Yeah, the difference is they automatically imported them as 2-ofs for every main deck monster instead of 3, so it was slightly less of a hellscape.
Well, yeah, but also Chaos Ruler's legal, Grass is legal.
Yeah.
And there's also Max C as well.
Yeah, tell me about it. It didn't even anything out.
It's somehow worse than Tier 0 in real life.
Because people got
unholy
creative.
Miracle.
People got creative with the stuff they were allowed to use. The new Duel Pass started over, which came with the prizes of a Dante Pilgrim icon, a red icon frame, an Ursatic monster art for your page, and a Gunkan Suship Iruka made, which I think everybody wanted, because it's jiggly.
Yeah.
When the ship is sus.
When the ship is edible.
Oh no.
Hilarious and original.
Now here... But the Attribute 4 event has come and gone, and I'm not going to lie, it was actually pretty fun. Being restricted to only using Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water monsters in your main and extra deck, and having some extra restrictions to keep it from being busted, was pretty fun. It let me play pretty much whatever I wanted.
What was the restriction?
Plus, no Nibiru, no Tearlaments, no any of the strong dark decks.
No
Just
dark
the
monsters at all. No light monsters at all. And they restricted pretty much just a bunch of floodgates, and I think they also banned Crooked Cook.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
people
Too
just
many
hide behind
cooks.
cook and cook.
Bruh, imagine not letting us cook.
Uh,
Because
No, Gordon Ramsay had to be
I
left
would
out
have
of
played
this one.
Goki on that event.
Honestly, you probably would have done well with that. But
Yeah,
here's the
because
thing.
Goki is nothing but Earth.
Yeah,
I actually did decently well with Battle Wasp Speedroids of all decks.
I was
Yeah,
bouncing
that's
back
about
and
right.
forth between Crawler,
I would have
Fire King,
tried.
and Penguins.
Wait, is it still out?
No, it's
I
officially
am.
over. It ended like a week ago.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
tried my stupid water deck.
Dude,
I
here's
am struggling a bit with making my dual terminal videos, so I might do something called the Attribute 4 experience instead. Well, do
I
that
was
before the dual terminal video, just as a little breeze break.
I was actually thinking about doing the same thing because I do have some decent games from that. But here's the only reason I even took part in the event, aside from the fact that the restrictions made it so that even I could play. It was the one of the prizes, which was a Moy Interceptor Cannon Mate.
I got it.
So did I. It was actually pretty fun. Anytime I play Gradius Ships from now on, that's going to be my partner.
hey, nice.
And the event was doing
Psychic
so well.
damage.
The event was doing so well, they actually added more prizes to keep people playing in the event up until the very end.
That's based.
And they even gave us a Sub-Terror solo mode. So now
With
we know
no monkey.
now we know the quote-unquote whole story of Sub-Terrors, which was kind of neat. Now, there's one other
Can't
thing
wait
when
to play Guro Control in solo mode.
Heroes tried their
One of-
hardest, but they need their Sunriser and their Dark Law.
Yeah. The weird thing is that the most common deck I've encountered in Attribute 4 were Charmers.
I saw that a couple of times too.
Understandable.
Makes sense.
I remember seeing
And
Vernustilf a
all-
lot.
And all those times I faced off against Charmers, I've won. Because
Yeah.
Charmers are doggy doo-doo water.
Yeah, they kind of
And
need their
out.
Dogmatica
To
engine.
which
Even with a structure deck and everything, they're still like bottom of the barrel.
Because they're flip monsters.
Well,
Yeah,
and the other main deckers that they've gotten support from over the years, including their links, their spells, their traps, and all that.
The
Yeah,
Channelers.
it's like the structure deck focused more so on the familiar possess and the actual charmers themselves that they were
Yeah.
based on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, though, they also instituted a new ban list for Master Duel that went into effect earlier this week. They have banned Instant Fusion.
Lots.
Hooray! No tier
Thanks,
hits.
I hate it. That literally changes
And
nothing.
that is
But to be
that
fair,
did
I am
absolutely
glad that
nothing.
Instant Fusion is banned.
Do you
They
know
only
what
have to
people on
lament
Master Duel
the
play
tier.
instead now? They
Uh,
play they just replace it Instant Fusion with Shadow cards.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
That
They
or
play
Ready Fusion if they're
they
that
play
desperate.
Windar now in their extra deck instead of Entis.
Ugh.
Nice
Uh,
work, Konami.
In addition to
Nice
that, they
work.
also limited to one King of the Swamp and Foolish Burial Goods. That goods hit
Yeah.
hurt me so bad.
I just
rightly
want to
so.
say, I'm not surprised that another fusion deck is teching in fucking Winda. It's almost as if it's a recurring fusion monster, just like some synchros and main decks that shall not be named. Colossus, Master Piss.
Main
That
question,
should be
though,
banned.
what was the reason? What was the reason for the Foolish Burial Goods hit, though? I feel
tier
like they
limit
could have hit
traps.
anything else. That's it.
Tier probably.
Yeah, tier limit
Yeah.
traps, when they hit the graveyard by card effect search, it basically fixed the problem of them only having 2 copies of each main deck monster.
Wow.
Yeah, which
And
is
that
to say,
does nothing.
they can just mill it off of something else if they really wanted to. They semi-limited Change of Heart, which changes nothing realistically, although it is funny.
Although, honestly, it could go to 3 in every single format and change nothing about it.
It probably will.
I'm sorry, what card?
Change of Heart.
Oh, agree.
And they unlimited Sky Striker Ace Kagari, Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, Thunder Dragon Hawk, and my favorite Fire Formation Tenki.
Why
Well,
Kagari?
at least
Why Kagari?
I
The
mean,
deck's not
I
doing
am
so
a-
hot on there, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
Sky
know.
Strikers are disappointing in Master Duel.
Now, as
Even
far
with free Kagari, I doubt anything's going to happen with Kagari at 3. So I am glad that Tenki's unlimited, though.
Me too.
Indeed.
Now, as far as the real game's concerned, the newest products that have come out is the Legendary Collection 25th Anniversary Box, which has reprint packs of the very first 6 packs they ever made in the game.
Banger.
And Cyberstorm Access is officially out as of today, and they confirmed that the English name for the Manadome archetype is going to be Manadium. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Do you insert copy pasta here?
Yeah, please don't. For my mental health, please do not.
Now, as far as upcoming products, they released a bunch of new information about the new Duelist Nexus pack, which is going to be dropping on July 28th. They got Pearly support, the new Fire Channeler, Altergeist got a Link 4 and some new spell traps and main deck monsters, Dark World got a new spell, Gold Pride's getting the second half of their archetype, Rescue Ace is getting 2 new cards, and we're getting the new monster type, Illusion type.
Which
yes.
the illusion seems very curious to me.
Apparently, it's a video game thing that they tried to adapt into the actual TCG.
Yeah, they released a lore article about that. Apparently, it's connected to the fact these monsters were supposed to be the antithesis to Yugi's monsters because there was like a rock, paper, scissors thing in the early variant of the game where certain types automatically defeated other types or something. And where Yugi used dark magic style cards and Pegasus was trying to use light magic style cards or whatever, which pertain to the illusion type. But their gimmick seems to be that neither monster can be destroyed in battle with them, regardless of which one it is. And the very first supports we're getting for this are the new Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts supports. New fusions, new main deckers, and a couple of the fusions are going to be this new type.
Yeah. Also,
anyone remember that old like Beast Warrior themed Phantom Beast before the Mega Phantom Beast? Apparently this is technically support for them.
Oh yeah, right, because Gazelle technically fits in with them.
Yeah, and so does Baphomet because it's also tied to Gazelle and Chimera.
Well, that's going to be an interesting deck to build around.
Yeah. There's also a few things you should know about them. You do have to run the original stuff as well as fusion deployment.
Okay, that actually makes sense. I mean, if it's a fusion-based archetype, why wouldn't you?
Oh, okay. Unexpected die into Gazelle is actually pretty base. Not gonna lie.
It does give you a good start.
Because fusion deployment is going to say, I'm just going to summon the OG Gazelle or OG Chimera.
Okay.
And
I never thought 2023 would include Ash Blossoming Unexpected Die because someone wants to bring out Baphomet.
I'm
gonna Unexpected Die attempt to summon Gazelle. Ash Blossom, I have to stop that. Well, I use Chimera Fusion. Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know anyway.
Because the big reason why you run the original one is because the Chimera Fusion grabs the original pieces.
Yeah, fusion deployment just let the OG Chimera Fusion can just let you get both of the OG pieces with fusion deployment, which is pretty neat.
Well, moving into the next topic, it's the legendary Duelist pack Soul Burning Volcano. We are getting it.
Yes, they're not gonna half-ass it like they did the Earth Legendary Duelist.
Doesn't seem like it. They've confirmed they're officially releasing it on August 11th, which means the volcanic.
I know a certain Pain was having quite the field day with that volcanic support.
Oh, you have no idea.
Dude. He is so vindicated and validated.
That he is. Agreed.
Now,
how many days was it that he was waiting for?
I want Pain to win Nationals 2023 with Volcanics.
1501?
I want that to happen.
1500 days. That's like 4.5 years?
Yep.
4.5 years to get some decent volcanic support. That's
Yeah.
actually crazy.
Some people are willing.
I'll
The
wait
official
that long.
drop date is August 10th, but it's being released in stores August 11th. At least that's what I've been told.
Okay.
And we have
Dude,
seen, of
now
course, the
he-
Volcanic support as well as the Battling Boxer support, but still no word on the Salaman support.
I'm
I-
waiting for that too. Where's my vegan support?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Raven. What were you, Tim? What were you going to say?
Like after this fire one, we better get the light one.
Yes.
That's the only
What
one we're
would
missing.
be the light one though?
I'm not sure. Assume it's gonna be Arcana Horse, Star
If
Seraph,
Saladin
and
Grey
Melodious.
gets more support, I'm hunting and eating a vegan.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Melodious
What?
finally getting some kind of decent playstyle, just like all the other Bracelet Girl decks did. Star Seraph, that was one of my favorite of the Barian archetypes, aside from Sharks and Battling Boxers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And Arcana Force, they need that support.
Yeah.
First off,
Yeah.
they need like
Indeed.
they need a whole ass rebranding. They need a light
Yes.
barrier, a better light barrier that doesn't have that dumbass coin flip effect. They need monsters and even spell and trap support that can actually let you manipulate the coin toss effects of all of them. Maybe even better monsters that can net you more
Absolutely.
plays.
No, here's my idea. What if Arcana Force had a field spell that just said, you remember Sartorius' skill in Duel Links?
Yeah, which could
Yeah.
allow you to manipulate the coin tosses. They're all treated as heads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
isn't
And
that
and
what Field
I
Barrier
say
does?
yeah, but you have to flip a coin first and call it right, which is pretty awful.
So
Which
basically,
and
it's
I
a version of light barrier.
Yeah.
yeah, like at least a retrain that is still at least that is always at least treated as light barrier. Given the search card you have to play light barrier if you want the search without needing to flip a coin. And there are a lot of the Arcana Force cards that need that need the light barrier effect of being able to manipulate the coin toss without actually flipping a coin to actually be good, like the world, for example. You know what? A retrain of the world. That actually sounds interesting.
Oh no,
The
no, no, no,
world.
no, 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 no! I disagree. We don't need another Zawalgor.
The thing is,
Uh, uh,
if you've ever seen season 4 of GX, you know that there's probably about a dozen cards in the anime that never got brought over here. Maybe that's what we'll finally get.
who
Oh,
knows?
that would be nice.
they can also put that in the animation chronicle.
They
Also,
could.
funny enough, but the fourth season was never shown in Europe.
Maybe we'll
Till
finally
today.
get that tennis players Yu-Gi-Oh deck from GX.
I doubt it.
Oh,
Maybe that might be funny. But you know, it's funny you mentioned that, Zivith.
It'll
It
be
was
hell.
Zivith. It's funny you mentioned that season 4 never came over there because it was never dubbed, ever.
Yeah.
it was too dark even for 4 kids.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
saying
I was
something.
actually kind of fine
No,
with
I think they
season
lost the
2 ending.
licensing. They
That
lost the
too,
licensing to do it.
But Reigns was dubbed, which was even darker than GX.
Yeah, standards are
That's-
weird.
Yeah.
That's because it
Speaking-
wasn't 4 Kids that did it. Because 4 Kids was bankrupt by the time they.
Yeah, it was a different
That's
group
true,
called
yeah.
4K
I
Media.
just hope that
Oh,
at
yeah.
one day we get a dub version of the fourth season of GX.
That would be
Speaking
kind of
of-
nice, even now.
Speaking of
Mhm.
anime archetypes, it'd be pretty funny if they got printed. Anyone remember that obscure, quote unquote, Dizzy archetype that Chumley's dad used?
Oh
yeah,
it was
yeah,
all
the-
it was all in
Hot
reference.
sauce.
Well, it was originally sake, and the original idea of it was, oh, these quote unquote Dizzy cards are getting drunk and like committing domestic violence, aka flipping the table. And it's like
Yeah.
these cards would be these cards would get censored right away if they were put in the animation chronicle. But then we get
Absolutely.
but then we'd get an entire Lost Art promotion set with all of the cards in it, and it'd be the funniest thing.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it would. I would play that.
Mhm.
I would play that just on principle.
Of course. You
Yes.
would.
Now, next on my list, though, is the structure deck Pulse of the King, which has been confirmed to be dropping on September 22nd. Now, if
I'm playing this.
obviously, because they've only shown 3 new cards, which is the new RDA, the new Resonator, and the new Daemon, and I assume that they're good.
The
Yes.
demon's pretty decent.
They're
Nothing
baller.
is a 3 of. Nothing is a 3 of, but everything is hella necessary.
I know the new Resonator is also pretty spicy.
It's a rota.
That's
Yep.
saying something.
It literally just says, as soon as I hit the field, add a level 4 or lower fiend to your hand.
Now all of the RDA enthusiasts no longer just have to solely rely on Resonator call to get any of the other Resonators to hand.
That's pretty solid.
Although there is a few caveat. The new Archfiend is literally just
Police is
pitch
coming for
whatever
you.
to special summon me from either hand or graveyard.
I believe it's a retrain of Mad Archfiend as well.
Yes,
That was pretty interesting.
It's a retrain of Mad Archfiend that special summons itself. It's a discard.
But it's a self-summon.
They made a retrain of Mad Archfiend and just turned it into Galaxy Soldier.
No,
pretty neat approach.
Here's the funny thing. It's a destroy. You have to destroy a card. You have to destroy a card on your field or in your hand. You're just probably going to destroy Red Rain because you're going to get it back either way. But the new RDA, what the benefit that it comes with is that it gives you a body.
Hold up. Refresh my memory, but what cards in this whole like RDA/Resonator based archetype profit from being destroyed if I
None.
in hand or on field?
None. That's the
None.
weird thing.
Maybe there's another card in there that benefits from that.
So you can just. Is it any card or just in an archetype or something?
No, any card on your field.
Fire King RDA best deck. Let's go.
I knew someone was going to think of that.
Can I just say that I hope that the anime archetype that has a spell card that makes you do 15 push-ups comes to the game.
Are you talking?
So we can force people to exercise.
Hold up. Are you talking about that weird like quiz panel archetype that we
Yes.
do?
That would be funny.
So many.
One of them was
headaches.
oh, you have to do 15 push-ups, or oh, name three known win conditions.
The only
in the
problem
game.
with adding that card though is that YCSs would get smellier.
Maybe, but they also might get better over time if everybody plays those decks as like an entry into playing in the tournament.
They're already cramped as hell. Imagine trying to find the room to do push-ups.
That's fair.
Also, because I'm probably hoping that Jack's RKV stuff is going to be in the next Animation Chronicles, because we will be seeing some of Sergei's stuff, the Earthbound Servants.
I am curious how they're going to approach that, because I know their anime counterparts were complete dog water, but the playstyle being, oh, I activate a spell card that allows me to fusion and synchro summon at the same time is what made it interesting to me. But because they're also like themed around or inspired by the Earthbound and overall Inca stuff, I am curious if Konami is going to take the approach of trying to tie them into like the sort of Inca playstyle, or if they're just going to make them their own thing.
Probably make them their own thing.
Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned the Animation Chronicle pack, because that's the next thing on my list. We haven't received an official date, but just as you mentioned before, we do know some of the stuff it's going to come with. In addition to what you mentioned already, we know that we're getting that new colorless Dark World Fusion, which is absolutely ass.
Yeah,
this is what we've been waiting for.
To say it, but
we just wait now for Super Fusion God.
Well, the thing is, the fusion itself is actually perfectly fine. It's just that it requires the original Rainbow Dark World monster,
which is
rather than any Rainbow monster.
Yeah,
Wait,
which is the
kinda-
inherent issue.
here's
am
the
kinda
thing,
curious.
though. They get Dark Corridor, and Dark Corridor cracks Dark World like an egg.
That's true.
True.
Now, what were you going to say,
I
Raven?
I was gonna say I am kind of curious if they were to actually make the Ultimate Fusion God card that Yubel was trying to summon at the very end of Season 3. I wonder what their approach would even be with that, because I believe its fusion materials were monsters each levels from 1 to 12, like in order. So I am kind of curious if they're going to keep that sort of summoning condition, or if they're going to make it something else, if they did think of actually making it real.
I
What if it
mean,
was like Utopic Dragon, where you have to discard Super Poly and take all the materials from your deck?
Oh, could
maybe.
you imagine?
Mhm.
You wouldn't have to go for that chain material bullshit like Yubel did.
Mm.
Well, getting back on topic, though, in addition to what I mentioned already, we've also been confirmed to be getting new support for Cyberus, obviously, just a couple of new spell traps. And most interestingly
yeah.
enough, they're finally finishing Yanagi's treasure cards from 5Ds.
Oh yes, I saw that. I'm actually kind of excited because
It seems
If
that
only
they
they could
also
finish
boosted their
supporting the
power.
Gandor archetype.
Yeah.
Huh. Gigaways will never get imported.
Well, now don't say that. They've imported some bizarre shit before.
I will cry.
Adapt B formation.
That might be a thing that happens at some point. And the last piece of news that I had that's Yu-Gi-Oh related is that we got confirmed that the next deck build pack is going to be named Valiant Smashers, and it's going to be released in the OCG on August 26th, which tells me we'll probably see it about November. And
One of the archetypes is a fire pyro one.
I hope so.
We
We
need more-
need more fire stuff.
Yes.
More pyro stuff too.
That too. Fire in
More
general, because it's
pain.
underrepresented.
Yeah, like let's lean away from dark. Let's start doing a fire wind, because wind actually has the least amount of archetypes.
No, we can't stray away from dark, because that's Yugi's Aces Monsters attribute.
That's
More DM
Yeah.
nostalgia milking.
No.
No.
Why
At least give Vector some support. We barely have any Umbral Horror support.
Maybe.
You know how
Konami,
bad
like-
this deck is.
Konami,
No, we need
look
more
at all-
Flame Swordsman support.
Konami,
We were an inch
like,
away from getting that.
Okay, Konami is over here like, oh, look at all of these underrepresented archetypes that we could be given support to. Jerry, what do you think we should do in terms of archetype support? Jerry just looks at his coworker like, oh, let's just make the standard Blue Eyes Dark Magician support. That's what they all like, right? Jerry, you're a goddamn genius. You're gonna get a promotion this week.
Tech W.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
all the news that I had prepared. It's already reaching 2 hours. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about?
Ooh,
All
got
right.
some more Doctor Who stuff.
Oh.
Oh.
There's two people coming to the new series. One of them is Murray Gold returning after leaving after series 10. He's the original composer for all of Doctor Who's music from 2005 till 2017.
He's the one that
include-
made that slapper. That.
Yes, I Am the Doctor, Shepherd's Boy, the best Doctor Who theme, all him.
Okay.
The other one is a newcomer in the form of Jonathan Groff, best known for his role as Kristoff in Frozen.
Oh my god.
And it is noted that he is also well known as a Glee cast member, and outside of Frozen, he's best known for playing King George III in Hamilton, meaning that we are very much likely going to see a Doctor Who musical episode in the future, considering the costume of Jinx Monsoon's character has a piano motif.
I would dead ass like that.
Yeah. I think we're actually overdue that. So that's it from me.
I got some. So tomorrow we have WWE Backlash. It's gonna be a good time. I hope Cody beats Brock. I hope Bad Bunny loses to Damian Priest because God knows we need a San Juan street fight in Puerto Rico. The last times that happened, Bruiser Brody was killed. Someone took him out.
Yeah, I agree with you. Judgment Day needs some wins at this point.
I think it's Backlash. A lot of crazy things always happen in the world of wrestling right now. MJF is still setting the world on fire, even though they're trying to book him silly.
Yeah.
And what else?
And the new title for Roman Reigns to grab.
No, he's not. If he gets the third title, there was no point of making the title. They should just. There's no point. They should just bring the big belt back. At that point, it's Roman, take this one too. Take all of them, please. We don't want them.
And there's also Double or Nothing's main event, the Fatal 4-Way between.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
Between...
Just do MJF Darby.
Another wrestling-related news: AEW already sold over 40,000 tickets for their all-in show, just in the pre-sale.
Yeah, they already sold their tickets for Wembley. That's amazing.
And that was just the pre-sale. And people were trashing AEW and Tony Khan that they wouldn't even sell 10,000.
Oh, I actually have something Tokatsu related right now.
Well, hang on. Let's let them finish, and then we'll get to that.
Right.
Yeah.
What else? Essentially, in the world of pro wrestling, we had Wrestling Dontaku. Motherfucking Okada said, "Fuck you, young boy," on the mic. I was like, God damn. Okada didn't care about this child.
Okada out here being a savage.
He's not giving a fuck. Make him a heel. Do it for all of us. Give him something to do. Sonata retained, but now my boy, thank God he didn't win. David Finlay didn't beat Tama, which I really didn't want that to happen because Tama just got his second reign with the never open weight belt. And he took out Sonata after his match after he won. So we're going to get Sonata versus David Finlay for the IWGP World Heavyweight belt. I think, what else is there? We had Triple Mania. No, it's always fun to watch Triple Mania. If you watch Botch Mania, it's always good to watch that. Vampiro just said fuck the match and got up, rolled out. And people were just hitting him. He's just, I don't care anymore. Fuck this match.
Then again, it is the where's the fucking music guy. So
Vampiro has been around for a long
character.
time. In the character though. Other than that, in pro wrestling, I'm here to announce that one of these days I'm gonna take out that bitch named Mark Sterling. I'm taking him out.
What did he do to you?
I just don't like him. If I'm going to start my training this summer so I could take him out in a match.
He looks like the kind of guy who would be into that.
No, that's Effie. Effie would be into that. He pulled out a dildo a couple of times. I've seen it in a match.
What?
True story.
So much to unpack.
You can take over.
I don't even watch or keep up with wrestling, and even I'm like questioning.
I'll send it to you, Raven. I'll send it to you the match where you pulled it out.
Oh boy.
What in the Black Jesus?
I don't know.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna send it to this goddamn wrestling. Whoever watches it, you be warned. It's hilarious. It makes me laugh. Personally.
It's hilarious. Yet I'm personally just questioning the authenticity.
If someone pulled out a dildo in the middle of a fight, would you question it or would you be afraid?
I'd assume I'm in Saints Row the Third.
Terrified.
I'd assume I'd be both. Like, what the hell? Why is he bringing that into the ring? What?
I'd be confused. I'd be scratching my beard.
If someone was in wrestling, they got down under the ring and went to pull out like a, you'd think, oh, they're gonna pull out a chair and whack their opponent over the head with it, and they pull out the fucking dildo bat from Saints Row the Third. I'd start questioning things.
That's the penetrator for you.
Oh no.
Oh god.
And now we have a name for it. I hate all of time and space right now.
Yup. Well, this seems like a good place to end the show, I think, unless anyone else has got anything.
Oh, yeah, I have one thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually gonna do a Toei Tokatsu fan special of Tycoon and Shinobi.
Right, the Ninja Twins, basically.
Yes. Here's the funny thing. Shinobi's actor was supposed to be on the show, but he booked it, so he funded himself this special where he's using the Shinobi buckle that he was going to use. They just gave it to Tycoon, repurposed the Waz Shinobi armor, and gave it to Tycoon. Because Tycoon Shinobi is literally just a purple ninja buckle with the Waz Shinobi armor and the under thing from Buffa.
That makes sense to some degree, I guess.
Hmm.
Now, I thought somebody else was going to throw something in.
No, I got nothing. I got stuff to send to make people question the wrestling world.
Fair enough, and I've got some new Gamer Subs flavors that I need to enjoy. Sadly, I wasn't able to get my hands on the Anime Girl Thighs flavor.
What in the Killy Bruce?
I'll show you a picture later.
Also,
can you show me a picture too?
I am currently at 14,000 life points.
Jesus.
Good grief.
Like, the world was not ready for me being at 14,000 life.
I play Gren Maju and activate 2 DD Dynamites to burn you for game. GG.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting on
That
Venom,
is
Womp,
a
Reptilian,
fair assessment.
Melusine stall. Making
And
scoop.
dude literally had to rainbow Neos to get out my supernova.
Oh boy. Drop the link, by the way.
Yeah.
Where?
I dropped it in MV podcast chat. Uh-oh. We lost Zivuth. Oh, there he is.
Zivuth, no. You're the best. Don't leave.
The stream's practically over anyways.
Yeah. I think now's a good time to end it.
Indeed.
I think so, yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for joining. Sorry about the sloppy start on my part. I'll be sure to try and make that not happen again. We record on the first Friday of every month, and that means the next show will be on June the 2nd. So in the meantime, thank you again for showing up, and I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, and I will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.